Somebody's going to kill me for doing this. I'm feeling better because I'm feeling punchy. You know? I got a couple of friends that are care providers, and I want to say something. They're the unsung heroes and heroines, and they go through a private hell that most of you don't even know. Taking care of an adult that is unable to take care of themselves is a draining, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, and physical demanding job. And you'd better be glad that there's people that have a heart for that. Because if you didn't, what would society be without that? Good morning, Ricky. We need care providers. People that take care of their mother or their father or their husband that life has changed. That scares the stuff out of me. The idea that I can get old one day and can't do anything and somebody's got to change my diaper and feed me and bathe me. I ask God all the time, please do not let me live beyond my own ability to do it. Yep, Jesse, any form of care providing, whether it's a nursing home or in-home providing for loved ones, any of that. And tea is good for a cold. Got my Bigelow peppermint tea. I increased my zinc because somebody on the channel suggested it. And I cook more water than I need for my tea, and I dump it in the cup, and then I put the pot in the sink, and I lean over and give myself a facial. Some of you younger people might laugh at that, but that does good. It opens up the sinuses. I just lean over and breathe in all that steam. Drink water throughout the day, and I go to work. I went to bed last night, and I was gone. Normally, when I get a cold the first 3 days, my sleep is terrible, but God rewarded me with sleep last night. And I didn't wake up sneezing, so the cold is beginning to hit the death throw stages, but then the coughing and all the other stuff will show up. But care providing is draining. Nursing homes, CNAs, that is not easy work. And I don't think that they pay CNAs enough. Not at all. Very rarely. Carl, I'm up early every day. I'm up later than normal. Tea does a body good. I slam some honey in there too. Wow, Batty, now that, bless your heart. Bless your heart. I could not do that. I'm the kind of a person, I will do what I need to do. I might do it begrudgingly. Al, so you going to work today? You be careful out there, man. Minnesota's white as a ghost right now. You got to remember, you're what, an hour behind me? You're on what, Central Standard Time? I'm on EST, baby. I like being on Eastern Standard Time. We're first to greet the day, and we're first to greet the evening. I've always wanted to be out east. And ma'am, if you're listening, I try to honor you, but sometimes I have to have my stuff. I love this top. This is so nice. I want to show you something. Viewer that goes by Jamie, he made this with AI, and I thought this was really cool. Check this out. Now that's pretty freaking cool. He made that because of me. Now, I told everybody I don't like AI, but that right there, okay, I can get behind that. That's awesome. I'd love to ride on an elephant. Man, would that be fun. And he even made me some lady shirts too. Gotta love it. That's cool. We gotta market that. Absolutely, Bean. I think that'd be fun. And look, you can see what it looks like on different shirts. Ladies' pink tee. I love that. That's better than, I'm sorry, that's better than MAGA. I will never wear MAGA stuff. And people misunderstand me. It's like, okay. And there's YouTube channels coming out saying, stop calling Trump your king. And I agree. Christians only have one king, folks. And it better not be any president or politician, no matter what side of the fence. It better be the Lord Jesus Christ. And I know I talk a lot about politics, okay? But when it comes to God, there is no other king. None. Trump needs to get saved just as much as Biden, Kamala, Clinton's, Barack, anybody. Do they really, Maddie? And we forget that. It's easy to get caught up in the stuff. Even made me a coffee cup. That's awesome. I'll drink to that. Jamie, that's awesome. I appreciate you, man. That would be fun. And then a regular white coffee cup with the same logo. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. I still can't smell a dang thing. Mountain Dew. You drinking Mountain Dew at 3 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning? I had a girlfriend in Minnesota years ago. She bought cases of Mountain Dew. She had an addiction, Houston. She loved it. I remember she filled her whole back porch with Mountain Dew cases. I said, Sarah, we need to talk to you. She laughed. She goes, I don't want to run out, man. I remember the first time I was on the back of a horse, it scared me. Not only are you up higher, but you're not in control. That horse starts moving. We did a trail ride in Mammoth when I was a kid. The horse going down a narrow trail, scaring me. One wrong slip and you're gone. And I thought, you got to remember the horse doesn't want to die either, Michael. Bean, how are you? And good to see you. What's going on in your world? Do we got a chat lag? I think we do. I thank God for the simple things. I thank God for tea. when I get off work, and I'll tell you, challenge yourself this. I love it when I get home. My shower works, but I don't use it because I never understood putting a shower in a bathroom with the windows right there, spraying all over the windowsill. I got to redo all that anyway. So I fill up the bath with a few inches of water and I scrub myself, wash my hair and face first, and then I scrub myself off and I drain it. And then I take a cup and rinse myself off. And I'm like, God, thank you for clean water. Thank you for the goodness it feels after a hot, sweaty day, dust all over me, and just being able to be clean. Do you ever do that? You ever thank God just for the simple things? A cup of tea, a good night's sleep. Sometimes we take all that for granted. A nice day, a girl who smiles at you. Yeah, that stuff. Care providers, man. I've known a lot of CNAs over the years. I did bus trips with nursing homes many times. And I met good CNAs with hearts of gold, and I met CNAs that have no business in the care business. I also know the stories of CNAs who actually care for their clients, patients, and they've been grief-stricken. Or the ones that go to the homes, or the women who go to the homes and take that person to the store, or play cards with them. Maybe you ladies can help me with this. There's some positions where they just want a companion to come over, tidy up the house, play cards with them, and sit and talk with them. What do you call that? And why is the chat frozen? That is so stupid. I hope I never get to the point where I got to waste away in a state-run facility and be dependent on somebody to wipe my posterior. I hope it never comes to that. Is the chat working? Somebody type something if you don't mind. It's froze up. I don't know why it does that. There we go. Thank you, Carl. Dean, are you still here? Some people come in just for a minute. I want the cold weather. Makes it freeze like that. Ah, you're funny. The one thing I like about cold weather is it kills, when it's real cold, it kills a lot of viruses. Airborne. When I lived in Duluth and you had that 25 below, it was pretty hard to catch a cold. Hey, Sir Jacob, how are you? Up, 2, 1, 2, 3. Colette is in the house. Hello, Jot Wedge. Good morning, Mr. Hinkle, from the frozen and snowy cornfields of Indiana. If you can, it's the Find the Corn Stalks Challenge. Starts tonight at midnight. Bring your flashlights, gloves, and your snow pants. There will be prizes. Somebody will be out there with a Snoopy snow cone machine making slushies, snow cones, and a good freezing cold cup of iced chocolate. Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you're tired of it. You know, people don't realize that Indiana, Illinois, they get crappy weather too. Hot, humid summers. Not like Georgia. Tell you what, Georgia puts an emphasis on humidity. I'm telling you. Sweat house. Yeah. Ohio. I definitely refer to them as the 3 states in a row. Great Lakes states, farm states. Now, I admit, I got a soft spot for parts of Ohio. Ohio's got some beautiful spots. Not the Rust Belt cities. I have no desire to Cincinnati, Cleveland, Toledo. No thanks. Dayton. But you get out in the pastoral countryside of Ohio, I'm telling you, there's some good folks down there. You go from the West Virginia border right at the West Virginia-Ohio border, some breathtaking country. Corn belts, yes. This is a Colette. It's this. It actually goes with the undergarment. It actually goes with the undergarment, which is nice. I just decided to wear it mesh flash. Hey, Paul, I'm good. How are you? And Colette, I'm doing what you said, man. I'm doing self-care. And I do. And I thank God I can go to work. And some people think when you got a cold, you stay home. I don't. That stuff's flying around. When I drove the bus, the kids got it. Man, these parents send their kids to school with a dang fever. Now, that's where I draw the line. If you got a fever, game over, stay home. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a little lacy. I like it because it's sensual. It just feels good to wear it. I mean, it is a lace, kind of, sort of. I mean, but I admit, I know this sounds dumb. And even as a Christian saying this, some people get all like, really, Mike? It feels sexy to wear stuff like this. I like to feel good about myself. Being macho. I mean, I am a man, and I face life like a man, but there's a sensitive and feminine side to me, and I embrace it. I like it. I'm good with it. I think that's hard for a lot of people to come to terms with. Brutal self-honesty. Whatever it is, brutal self-honesty. People will never admit that they got a problem with something. Yes, it's a deep purple, maybe magenta. No, somebody said something about an asteroid fell in Ohio or it didn't hit the ground. No, Batty, this would get tore up. I'm pulling parts and doing stuff. This would get ruined. My work clothes, my pants, they got foam spots on them from running the foam machine. No. The only way I'd wear this to work is if I worked in an office and management allowed me to dress feminine, then I would do it. Air conditioned where you're not sweating. Of course, it might be a little cold in this. Well, Skits, thank you for that. Man, I like the way you put that. You're sorted out. I never thought about that. I agree. At least I sort it out and say, yeah, I've got this and this. But the fact that you recognize it about yourself, don't undercut. Don't undercut. You might be more sorted out than you realize. You admit you're flawed. I mean, I hate to sound like AA. That's the first step, man. And the people, hello, Chris. Hi, Tiny Mother. How are you? I love that name, Tiny Mother. I just want to reach out and give you a tiny hug. 6 feet wide and 7 tons. What did that have? Nickel and manganese in it? Woo, that had to be pure metals. Can you imagine something like that? Just a 6 foot 7 ton, if that made it past the atmosphere, what that would do. Imagine if that hit downtown Augusta or Duluth or, oh my word. Tiny Mother, come on over, man. Some of my hugs I don't let go. And I'm not a perv. There's a few women. There's a black woman that I worked with at transportation. She would give me the best hugs, and I told her, I said, oh my gosh, can you just come over and we'll just hug? No, and I didn't look at her sexually. There's very few people where when you hug, it's like a connection. It's like, oh, that's like a healing balm in Gilead. Anybody remember that term from the old days? A healing balm, B-A-L-M, in Gilead. It goes way back. And in our culture, well, Paul, I get sheepish about hugging men. There's very few men that I hug. Even when E-Rock and I were together. You know, I think I hugged Mob once, but I'm not always capiche on hugging guys. Now, I admit I hugged the cross-dresser guy at the flea market, but it's different. It's different. It's just weird. It's all a mood. It's all a vibe. It's all a feel. I like that song, Feels. Oh yeah, wait a minute, just for kicks now. Haven't had that feeling since 1966 now. Da 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 da. Can you feel it still? Ooh, that was a good song. 7 states. Really, Colette? I missed that. Do I sit down to pee? At work? No. At my house? Yes. Why? Because I don't like piss splashback. I think houses ought to be equipped with a urinal. When I'm in somebody else's house, you know, the women that have the house with the fur over the toilet seat and the little carpet over the tank. Yeah, I sit down. That's somebody's house. I'm very self-conscious. I read the moment. That's it. That's it. That's it, Colette. Absolutely. Hello, Consette. How are you? And welcome. I have a guy at work does not follow directives. We get a lot of those. I want to talk about him. I'm not here to put him down. He bicycles from downtown. It takes him 2 hours. He said it took him 2.5 hours to walk. I'm like, if I had that bicycle of his, I'd get down there in 30 minutes. But I watch him. He works steady, but he doesn't move like Jagger. But he was taking rags and leaving rags on the packing table all dirty. I said, dude, what are you doing with all these? And he's dusting the bottom level of ProMates. I said, dude, don't do all that. Well, I don't like dust. I said, dude, you'll never get rid of it. You got dust on everything. It'll never go away. And he's wasting rags and shining and dusting things that he can reach. And then he started taping boxes. I said, why are you doing that? Well, they're open. I said, no. I said, we need those open to pull the parts. You tape them up, we don't know what's in it. And he continues doing what he's doing. And we're in a quandary at work because he lives in a shelter. And I don't ever want to be the reason for somebody's termination who's trying. But our workplace is not conducive to that sort of thing. We need to go. We need to keep it going. Yes, Colette. Shoot, yesterday I was in the toilet. Oh, what time is it? It's Eastern Standard Time, 10 minutes to 6. And this has been brought to you by Bare Nude Granola. This is the best stuff. It's got them little chocolate pieces in there. And it's not junk food, believe it or not. Somebody might dispute that. Who makes the granola bars in the green box? Is that Nature Valley? Or Healthy Valley? Who does that? I stopped buying those. They're addicting. I believe the first ingredient is sugar. General Mills stuff is to be avoided. Oh, she is, Paul? No, you did not. Paul, did you change your name on Discord to PE? That is you, right? Oh, so your Eastern Standard Time can set up? Right on. EST's the best. We greet the day first. And I know that, Colette, but the supervisor's having a problem with him. He says, I don't want to let him go. He says, I feel for him, but he said, this isn't going to work long run. I said, no, it isn't. Balancing compassion with workplace needs is a fine line. And I've told him, and he doesn't follow directives. Now that is a problem. So now I have to go to my boss and say, will you tell him to stop blowing through all the rags that we need for cleaning stuff that we got to pack? And so I did something yesterday. I said, dude, I need you to do this. I said, you see those pallets of stuff in the aisles? I need you to find a part number on it. I said, and they showed him how to use a computer. And he's starting to find stuff, find out where it goes, and put it away. I said, that is what I need. Man, this thing just totally stretched out on me. Okay, thank you. So funny, when I see PE, I hated PE when I was in high school. PE sucked. Yeah, whatever, Colette. New Zealander, you got a pole rank on us. Whatever. Why don't you bring me there? I'll be your house guest and keep you company. You go, man, I'm going to heal and get this boy out of my house. I'm feeling better, Bones. Thank you. I didn't sneeze this morning. When the sneezing and stops, and gets under control, I know things are starting to mend. Zach, I didn't even see your last comment. Did it strike you down? I didn't know YouTube was doing that. Excuse me. You know what's fun about a cold? The different stages of cold. First day, your nose is running like a faucet. Well, you feel all the tightness in your neck muscles and your head. Then you feel the runny nose and the sneezes and the sneezes and the sneezes. And then you're starting to heal when the snot goes from clear to yellow. When you start seeing brown, green, and red, then you got a problem. Then you got a sinus infection. I don't get those. I had a wife who was notorious for that. Paul, and that gives you a break. Tiffany, you're funny. They're not choking me. I double stranded it. I got different ones I can wear. That's funny. Shoot, I can wear the art teacher necklace. Today, class, we're going to work with pottery. There we go. Maybe we should just do this. Switch it up. Oh, yeah. Gotta have fun, man. You only live once, right? Michael's a little bit odd, but that's okay. When I get out there, for years I believed there was everything wrong with me. And when I get out there in society, something begins to shape up. Now, see, the low side goes in the back, right? Gotta remember how to put these things on. I appreciate women, by the way. Oh, the tag goes on the left. That's right. I'm figuring this out. I want to know why women's zippers are the wrong way, though. They need to be the way man's zipper is, because I'm right-handed. Left zippers really chap my butt. See, Colette, this is the undercarriage of that ensemble. This is skimpy, and I like it. It feels good. Then you just put this on over it. And voila. And then it's got these stupid little plastic lace straps in here, which I never quite understood that. Somebody said it's for hanging on the hangers, but I don't use metal hangers for this stuff. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a little more private. We had Mrs. Proberg. I wouldn't call her hot, but she was artsy and she was very cool. She was a very nice lady. She looked like a throwback straight out of the 60s. But she was nice. She had a good heart. Thank you, Tiffany. I love you for that. Hello, Neutral. How are you? You got sent to the principal's office. They could not make you do that. There are laws to protect you for religious conviction in this country. I cannot believe you got in trouble for that. You have every right to not violate your conscience. Now, if you pull that, tell your teacher, I'm not taking a test in science because it goes against my religious principles. You're going to have a hard time with that. Thank you, Neutral. Tiffany, when I was in school, I loved the name Tiffany. I always wanted to marry a Tiffany. There's a lot of Tiffany's out here. I know 2 right off. Tiffany's still a name that's put out there. When I was a kid in white America, we had the Mace kids across the street. We had Timmy, Todd, David. Oh my gosh, what were their names? Timmy, Todd, Tommy, Davy. Ran out of T's, Mom? Barbie Seymour lived across the street. I remember Dougie. I mean, you had Matt, Mike, Paul, all the 4-letter names. 3 and 4-letter names. I'm glad that asteroid did not hit the ground. So if a piece lands in my yard, doesn't destroy this place, do I legally have rights to that? Or will the government tell me I can't touch it? Aiden, Hayden, and Braden, yep. I wondered that, Zach. I wonder if the government or NASA could pull rank on that, but it is in my yard. Now, I understand if a jetliner goes down or a space shuttle and the parts end up in my yard, technically, I'd have to yield them up. But an asteroid that comes from space, how could the government tell me they got rights on that? It's like, dude, that's from God. And he sent it to my yard? Keep your paws off. I'll charge admission. I'll stand out there in this and say, $10. One at a time. Walk in, do a video, do a TikTok, do the meteorite dance, and get out. Some CEO come up with this limo, Mr. Nelson. I'm willing to sign a contract if you sell that to me. How much are you going to give me, big boy? What's it worth to you? I got a fragment. It's 3 feet across. I'm still trying to get the mud off the back of my house. There's a big hole in the yard, but it's going to cost you, buddy. $10 per gram. Yeah, what blows me away is the weight. 6 feet wide, 7 tons. I've touched a meteor. Did I touch one? Was it in Winslow? Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, and such a fine sight to see. It's a meteor, my lord. Hit my flatbed Ford. Now I can't turn around and look and see. But it's nickel. There's metals in that. And it's cool. That stuff is fascinating. They claim there's an asteroid out there that's got a bunch of gold in it. Oh my. God, could you just gently set that down in my backyard? Can you imagine I'm getting ready for go to work and I go out in the backyard and I'm like, what the heck? And it's big. And God just set it there. Just missing my house, and it's flattened the fences, the trees, and the entire neighborhood, and there it is. So big that nobody can move it. Wow. Noah, that's crazy. And I agree, our healthcare system is whack. Really, Colette? Anybody remember the story? Was it a woman that had 8 children in Canada way back in the old days? Anybody know that? And they made a circus out of her house, and I think this Canada took the children away and all this. Anybody remember that? Hi, Ellie. Oh my gosh. Ellie, you're back. How are you? Yeah, Octomom. This was way before in vitro. Yes. No, we're not talking about the fairy tale. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe, didn't know what to do, had so many children. Yeah, that. Ellie, I told you, reach to the screen and grab my hand. I'll stay on shift with you. The Filipinos go, who's this guy? None of your business, man. I'm here to make sure Ellie's safe. Hello, but why? Hey, Scooter. Oh, I would love to have a meteorite fragment to touch something like that. Gotta wait till it cools down, though. Do not grab it after it hits the ground. You'll never do it again. That baby's on fire when it comes through that atmosphere. Ellie's going to stand there at the gas station at night in her skimpy shirt. Hey, boys, fill her up. Joking, Ellie. Meteorites, they're not just rock. And it's wild because they got all these holes in it, like Swiss cheese. Now you stop and think about that. That God in his awesomeness just made this stuff. These big giant things floating around out there. People say there's no God. Really? Why is it the moon is pockmarked like an acne kid in middle school? And you got the earth, relatively few impacts. And people say, well, it's because of our atmosphere. Well, how do we get an atmosphere and no other planet got one? Yeah, see, God is amazing. He really does protect this planet. No, I go to work. No, I don't get a day off. Saturday and Sunday, that's it. I go to the salt mines Monday through Friday, folks. You too, Zach, and thank you. Be safe out there. Ellie, don't be scared. You're a woman of faith. God is over you. Because, Paul, she works at a gas station in the Philippines and she does the night shift. The Philippines does have a lot of crime. I love the Philippines, but you have to be aware of yourself when you're there, especially in the less touristed places. Oh, it's closed. Wow, they make you security. Wow. Do you have a switch inside an office where you can turn off the pumps, Ellie? Do they have a master switch where you can turn off the pumps? And Ellie, is gas prices going up because of the war in Iran? $40,000 miles an hour. You too, Carl. Be safe out there. You imagine 40,000 miles an hour. Is there a sound? Is there a sound as that thing's hurtling through the space? Wow, Ellie. Is that the one you told me to send a friend request to? What you can do, Paul, is just put in a link to her. You can put in a link from your phone. You can pull up my YouTube video. You can push the little forward signal. Should allow you options to hit somebody in Discord. 543. Good night. California taxes the hell out of gas. They're ridiculous. Just remember, the Democrat states charge the highest for gasolini. Ellie riding a horse. Now that'd be funny. Ellie, put your hope in God, man. I know you do. But He's taking care of you. Did they give you a gun, Ellie? Are you allowed to have a weapon? Just like the security guard at San Juan Market in Pinturan. She had gun and stick and everything. Ellie, I'm proud of you, though. You've made it this far. You've made it this far and you haven't quit your job. If I had a company, I'd hire you in a minute because I know you'd be a faithful employee. Got it, Paul. No, it just means you're going to have sexy, strong legs, Ellie. Men like women with strong, sexy legs. Yeah, Ellie does a job that we're not familiar with here. The only thing close to that would be like a woman working at a convenience store gas station at night. But it's closed. She's just there to make sure that nobody's trying to steal gas or rob gas. Good to see you, Ellie. You're a stranger these days. Mm. Do you realize this YouTube channel is almost like the Yahoo chat rooms? The only difference is you have the host, which is me, doing live while you guys can interact. This was why I used to love chat back in the Yahoo Messenger days. I'm a morning person, but why? That's my saving grace. I think it's funny when people 20, 30 years younger than me are telling me to slow down. Mike, we're worried you're going to get a heart attack. I said, I don't have any cardiovascular problems. I'm good. There's a guy in the freight office, and he says, Mike, you need to slow down. I said, there's no speed limit on my body, sir. He just shakes his head. But Mike, they don't pay you enough to work this hard. I said, there's too much to do, and I intend to get it done. I love being wired different. It provokes so much conversation. Hello, Ideal. The first sneeze of the day. Major improvement. Ha. My peppermint tea is doing wonders. That's good. Yeah. Batty, I was just talking about that. Yahoo had tons of them. I used to hang out in CC13. It was Christian chat. There was a lot of non-Christian chat in there. Yahoo chat. You could hook up with women you didn't know, turn on cams and be naked, and oh yeah, those were the days, man. I remember seeing one woman turn on her cam and she had a tarantula walking around on her breasts. One woman with pretty long raven black hair with her top off smoking pot. I've seen it all. Everybody in the universe knew that Yahoo was good for wanking. It was like strip show, except minus going to the club or the breast bar. But I also had intelligent conversations with people. Ellie would kill me to hear this. Ellie, I can't tell you how many Filipinas would come out of those chat rooms and they'd talk to me and they'd turn on their cam and take their shirts off. I didn't even ask them. Yahoo was naughty. We used to call it the naughty box. Oh, yeah. It's funny how people in our society are so weird about, well, I don't know you, but they'll get online with strangers and throw all caution to the wind. Oh my gosh, I would see that. I could meet a woman in another state and she'd be talking to me and off go the clothes. But if I was there in her town, she'd be shy and wouldn't even get to know me. People are funny. The chat room showed me this weird dichotomy, how reckless people are online. And when you meet them face to face, they're reserved, they're drawn in, the drawbridges are up. Oh my gosh, I got stories to tell you about that. Who's this clown? Adam, you need to be booted out of the room. What are you, 10 years old? Joined 2 years ago? Really, Colette? Yahoo Chat went away permanently in 2013. I went to turn it on one day. I'm like, where's Yahoo? I had to search all over the internet. I looked, I typed in Yahoo. Finally, I saw a comment somewhere. Yahoo has officially closed all the chat. Oh my gosh. I just lost touch with all the people I knew. Poof. Thank you, Colette. I was about to do it. I was waiting for the clown to say something, but I'm glad you did it. No need to wait for a dumb answer. Meanwhile, Adam was in the basement looking furiously for his deodorant can and his toothbrush. He seems to have misplaced them for weeks now. Hard being a lady doing that, ma'am. I give you credit for your bravery. Ellie, I don't know if you heard me. Do you lock the gas pumps when the station's closed, or do you turn off the pump switch in a shack? How is that set up? Because when I worked in transportation, we had a shut-off switch for the pumps. We also had electrical breakers where I could shut them off, and a room with a steel door that we could lock shut. So people can just come up and start pumping. Ooh, not good. Not good. I don't know why they don't have a master's. What do you do in an emergency? You got to have an emergency shutoff. That's the law here. Gas pump doesn't stop running or somebody rips the hose out of the machine. They got to have a way to shut that fuel off. Wow. That doesn't make sense. So what you're saying is a car can pull up, they can start pumping, even if it's closed. See, that's not good. Do you guys have cameras at the gas station? Do you have CCTV? Molly, how are you? Molly, she's in the Philippines. Yeah, I can't. They gotta have a shut off. I know that's law in the U.S. Any fuel station. When I worked at transportation, we have an emergency shut off. We got a regular shut off. In fact, when I took the position of fixing school bus seats, I was also a fuel attendant. And the first thing they show me, if you have a problem, you hit that shut-off switch. If that doesn't work, go into the breakers and hit these 4 breakers, and it automatically shuts everything down. Oh, yeah, we have laws about that. We have a big barrel if we have a fuel spill. And wouldn't you know, they got storm drains right underneath the canopy by the pump. So if the fuel goes loose, it goes into the storm drains. And if that happens, then the EPA gets involved, and it's ugly. We had a woman, she was notorious for being discourteous to the rules. She got out of her bus, put the thing in, and the management, the foreman took the thing where you can click the pump on and leave it running. They took the thing off, so you have to hold it on, because drivers would leave it on and the pump wouldn't shut off, and it would fill up a 60-gallon diesel tank and backflow all over the ground. She let gallons and gallons run into the storm drain. I came to work the next morning. There was fuel everywhere. And I said, son of a... I called the foreman and said, come down here and look at this. He said, I saw it. He said, we pulled the camera, and he told me who it was. And I said, they better bust her ASS for this. She got out of her bus and went and yacked to somebody else. And the fuel's running under the bus. The video picked it up. And she never came and apologized. I had to dump an entire trash can of sand on it. Then after all the buses came through in the morning and we got them fueled and they went to routes, I then took and turned on the hose and cleaned up. I swept up all the sand after fuel absorbed sand. And I ran water down the storm drains. And he even said, you trying to dilute things? I said, yeah. And it was interesting. The water treatment plant was not that far down the road. Could you imagine them going, we're getting a lot of diesel in here. Absolutely, Colette. I can't believe they don't arm her. Security guards, San Juan Market in Pintura in Valenzuela City, she was armed. She pats everybody down before they go in the store, because people carry weapons in the Philippines and they can go in and hold up a store just like that. A gas station tiger. Put a tiger in your tank, baby. Steal gas, you get a tiger on your neck. And with prices rising, that makes it a little more tense. But I'm telling you, Ellie, I'm proud of you. You're a strong warrior inside. Ah, got you, Molly. I did not like that driver. And it's funny, she always got recognition by the management. You know, the workplace is like school. The people that get shouted out are the worst employees. You ever notice that, men and women? You ever been in a workplace? The worst offenders get all the shout outs and the accolades, and the real warriors in the workplace are ignored. Y'all notice that? Just sad, dirty lowdown. The people that work hard and do it and rise to the challenge. But let you make a mistake and you'll be in the principal's office. Snake. Ellie, Ellie, Ellie. Ellie, we do have more trouble as Christians. I don't care what anybody says. When you're an unbeliever, they leave you alone. When you're a Christian, you walk around with a big old bullseye on your back. Tell me I'm wrong, people. The devil's after you every minute of every day. Not to mention your own dang flesh. Not to mention the world that doesn't love you because you're not of it. Yeah, that's right, Chris. You got the women and men that get away with murder. And you're thinking, man, if I was a supervisor, that person would have been fired. Even in the Philippines, some of the nicest people, and Ellie experiences that because when you're a child of God, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If I was born in India culture and I became a Christian, fellow India people would be mocking me. It's amazing how that works. Man, Ellie's fast on the text. She's a texting queen. Boom. Friendly little pussycat. Well, thank you, Tynert. We're different. I will say that. Thanks for landing here. Feel free to like and subscribe. And if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. We talk about everything. We manage to step on everybody's toes sooner or later, including my own. But I keep it honest and I keep it real. If I had tons of money, I wouldn't live in the Philippines, but I would definitely spend considerable amount of time in the year there. I'd go chase Ellie. I'd pull up in the gas station in the M35A2 that I had transported, and she'd go, "Oh my gosh, what kind of a truck is that?" And I'd lean out and say, "Ellie, you know who I am?" "Hi, naku, Michael, what are you doing here?" "Get in, you're done. Your job is over, Ellie. Let's go." Yes, Chris. They sound like parrots, right? Christians can't judge, right? Christians can't judge. You want a Bible, right? Colette, I used to tell newcomers, pull up a toilet and sit down because it's going to get crappy in here. We have a one toilet at the workplace, at the warehouse. I went in the bathroom and it was stuffed full of toilet paper and poo, and the water was all the way up the edge. I'm like, great, I got to pee. So I whizzed in it, but I didn't flush. And I took the plunger and I'm like, oh, great, this isn't going down. So I plunged it. Some of the water went down. I flushed and it started to rise. I'm like, oh, no, you don't. You know, you start plunging real fast. I didn't overflow the top and it still was stuck. Somebody saw me come out of the bathroom, so they went and told somebody, oh, Mike shit the toilet. I said, no, I didn't. I said, I went in there. It was already plugged and I whizzed on it and I tried to plunge it and I didn't get it down. Well, it sat there. When I got caught up with my stuff, I went back in there and I took the plunger and I went, hydraulic, boom, and the water went whoosh. I come out and I said, I fixed it. And whoever turned it in there and left it there, that wasn't me. I don't do that. I clean up after myself. I don't plug the toilet. Somebody had used like a whole roll of toilet paper. That's it, Tyner. Where are you from? Can I ask what state? I'm in Georgia. Illinois. All right. We got a lot of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio in here. Ellie's holding herself up, squatting down. That's why I like the handicap rails. Those are good for that. In Hong Kong, when I lived there, they have squatty potties where you literally squat down and get all the way down and aim for the hole. I got to go, guys. Speaking of toilet, it's calling me. I pee on the floor. You're funny, Ellie. You're funny. I got to go, folks. You all have a good day. Time for me to eat breakfast and get ready and go to the salt mines. Ellie, be safe. You got us. We got you bathed in prayer, girl. Public restrooms ought to be criminal offense. They're gross. I love it when you go to a gas station and it's all adults and there's toilet paper on the floor, poop on the seats. I'm like, this is America. Can't properly use the bathroom. And they give them the right to drive a car and vote. Let that soak in. If you don't know how to use a toilet, you shouldn't be allowed to drive or vote. Can I have an amen before I close this video? If you can't use the toilet properly, you shouldn't have a voting right or a driver's license. Anybody with me? Anybody with me? Anybody with me? All right, you guys take care. Love you all.